Saving money is only step one. What you do next changes everything. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you what the next step to do is after you save some money. This is Why Not Money. If you guys have been here or new to the channel, I would appreciate it if you subscribe and like, because I'm going to go ahead and teach you something that's very valuable in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. So the whole goal of this channel is to understand finances, is to become more financial literate every step of the way, no matter where you are, whether you're coming from where you're living paycheck to paycheck or you're already rich. So I'm definitely not rich, but I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. I'm in the middle. What I would say to do after you stack up some money, and how much should you stack up? First of all, let's talk about that. I suggest that every adult at least has an $1,000 emergency fund, at least. But then you want to stack that $1,000 to $3,000 minimum. But I suggest that you should just go ahead and try to stack up at least 10K and don't go below 10K cash. Dollars in the bank or dollars in physical cash. I say this because you just don't want to get under that mindset of not having 10K, because once you have 10K, it's like you break that level of understanding and then you can do it again. But what I really think you should do is at least have 3K saved up. And then I think this is a really good tip for young people who are 18 to 25, but people who are 30 and 40 to 60 can still do this. And that is have a Roth IRA. Once you have some savings saved up, you can put it into a high yield savings account. What this means is that when you put in money, you will earn a percentage on the money that you put in. When you put in money in a normal bank, you don't earn much money, pretty much no money. But when you put it into the high yield savings, you earn at least 4%. So say if you put in $10,000, by the end of the year, you would have $400. So if you had $40,000 in that same account, you would have about $1,600, so $1,600. So if you had $100,000, you would have $4,000. And it pretty much just goes like that. You would just have to do the math and just put it into your calculator, like 100,000 times 0.04, and that would give you 4%. That's a high yield savings account. High yield savings is cool and it compounds as well. Let's say you have $100, by the end of the year you have $104. That $104 becomes your new balance and you're continuing to add, so that 104 compounds and it multiplies and it exponentially grows in the future. So the S&P 500 is a Roth IRA. It's basically a retirement account. It's an individual retirement account. And so you put this into the Roth IRA, and I'm going to show you what I do. I use Fidelity. So I downloaded the Fidelity app. You make an account. It's very simple. I'm not going to go through the whole explanation of making an account because it's very easy. So I'm going to sign in right now. I'm going to show you my Fidelity account. All right. So you should be able to see right here that I have $192.37 in my Fidelity account. Well, that's how much it shows that my balance is, or my principal is. So I believe for people who are under the age of 65, we are able to invest $7,500. So every year we're able to put $7,500 into this Roth IRA account. The reason why this is so important is because by the time we're 65, we can take all the gains and all the profit, all the money that we put in there, tax-free. You get this annual interest. Pretty much as we put it in there, we'll have different stocks that will give us dividends, and plus the stock just goes up. So say right now I have 3.2. Eventually that stock could go to 400. And then next year I'll be able to put in another 7,500, and then the next year after that 7,500 for I'm 32 until I'm 65, so around the next 33 years or so. So I keep on putting 7,500 for 33 years, and that's gonna add up. So 7,500, let's do 7,500 times 32. 7,500 times 32. That's $240,000. So by the time I'm 65, I will have put a 200,000, 240,000 of my own money. But what will really happen is that over time, I invest into VOO. VOO is the S&P 500. S&P 500 is the 500 most successful companies in the world, and mainly the United States, because the United States is the one who has the stock exchange and we have the stock market and we have the money. The dollar is pretty much the world reserve currency. So a lot of the stock market information is based off of the United States dollar and it's based off of our companies. So over time, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Meta, all these different companies, they'll have different stock, prices rise, they fall. And so your account will go based off of how the stocks are going. So one year, like today, it could be 392. Tomorrow, it could be 390. The next day, it could be 350. The whole point is that you want to put this money into your Roth IRA account because every year this money is being added and it becomes tax free by the time you're 65. That's the whole point. And it's really is that this compounds. So like I said, I put $240,000 of my own money. Now, if I show you, I'm gonna go to a compound interest calculator. Okay, so I just found some random compound interest calculator online. It says, what is your initial investment amount? We're gonna say 7,500. What is the period of your investment? It's 33 years because I'm 32. It may be different depending on your age. I say by the time I'm 65. So we're gonna go by the time I'm 65. What is your rate of return? I'm gonna say on average the S&P 500 is 7 to 10%. So we're gonna be conservative and say 7%. How much will you contribute? We'll say every year we're gonna put 7,500 and we're gonna compound annually. I invested 255,000 and the total interest that I would gain off of that is $706,000. So totally, I would have $961,000 and pretty much almost $1,000,000. That's just from 7,500 investing into VOO at 7% rate. Let's say the rate of return is 10%. At a 10% rate of return, that's $1,800,000. So you guys, it's very important. You may be thinking like, oh yeah, but I'll have $1,000,000 when I'm 60. It's only $7,500. I know that sounds like a lot for some people who are living paycheck to paycheck, but once you get into the habit of saving, and once you realize that you can save even $1,000, let's say you can only contribute, let's say that you can only contribute $1,000. Let's say 1,000 times 33, rate of return, let's say 7%. How much we contribute? $1,000 a year. That's still $128,000. It may not sound like a lot, but you only put in $34,000 of your own money. And the rate of return and the interest and compounding, it added $94,000 to what you put in. So the key to the game is saving some money, investing it, and make your money work for you. This is what rich people say when they talk about making your money work for you. Even Einstein, talking about Albert Einstein, the guy who discovered E equals MC squared, talking about matter, energy, how it relates to each other, creating the atom bomb. He's the one who talks about there's the 7 wonders of the world, and compound interest is one of them. It's a mystery. It's like magic. Quantifiably, it's understandable logically, but it's just like, wow, when you really compound money, that's how you make your money work for you. That's how you get more money. The more money you have, the more money you get. That's why the rich get richer. That's why the poor get poorer, because the rich have more money to make more money with. The poor have lack of ideas and lack of resources. So it's like more of their money is just fleeing away from them. So first you have to develop the mindset of that I am worthy of money to be in my life. 2, once you develop the mindset, you have to develop the habit of putting just a little bit away. It may not seem like a lot, but you put a little bit away, and then eventually you'll be able to fund your S&P 500 and your Roth IRA, or you could just invest into Apple or Tesla or whatever stock it is you want. But you need to start somewhere. And that's the key to everything. You need to start somewhere. It's not going to be easy. It's just like the gym. I posted a video of me going to the gym yesterday. And honestly, I was thinking that I was going to lose a lot more strength than I did. But the fact that I've been consistent those months in the past, I gained or I kept a lot of my strength now. So same thing. If you learn how to save and you save $10,000, then you will learn how to save it again. You'll be able to do it again. That's why the people who are rich, if they become broke, they'll be able to get rich again because they have the experience points. If you never even get the experience points, then you're never going to be able to implement the actions that are going to get you to that goal again. That's all I have to say. Just start with something small. If you get paid $200 a week, save 20. If you get paid $400 a week, save 40. $600 a week, save 60, etc., etc. We're on this $10,000 challenge in 3 months, 12 weeks. That's about $780 a week. I know I'm messing up my numbers, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, you guys, that's the goal. Stay consistent, stay focused, and I just want to motivate you guys that it's possible. I've done it, and you can do it too. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good night. Peace.